Hello everyone, my name is Goyal and today we are going to start this chapter which is perimeter and area. Okay, so this is first lecture of this chapter. Okay, so in this lecture, what we are going to learn about, see, we are going to learn about, see, first of all, we are going to cover the topic unit of measurements. Yes, unit of measurements. Okay, so which are the units we are going to use in chapter for measuring length and breadth also. Okay, so basically the perimeter and area, if I'm talking about the perimeter and area, it's all depends on what, the sides of the figure. Okay, now after that unit of measurement we are going to learn about what, perimeter of a square and rectangle and their some properties. Okay, now after that, area between the rectangle, see, it means what, see, if there is a rectangle, there is a rectangle and there is another rectangle, so the area enclosed between these two rectangle is this. So how we do these types of question in which we are going to find out these types of things. Okay, we are going to learn in this part. Okay, now triangle is a part of a quadrilateral. Okay, now first of all we are going to start with the topic unit of measurements. Okay, so there are some units we have. Okay, so see, king unit means the largest unit. Okay, hectare means the smaller than king unit, and declares unit decides chocolate and milk. Okay, now see, kilo is used for king, the largest one. For example, we use kilometer, we use kilogram, we use kiloliter, right? And after that we use the concept of hecto, right? Hectometer, hectogram, hectoliter. Now decameter, decagram, decaliter, right? DECA you can use, or DEKA you can use. Okay, now the next unit, the basic unit we are going to use, meter, gram, liter. This is the basic. Now after that, see, this is the basic unit, the middle part. Okay, if you go this side, the value will be will become increase, right? Okay, now decimeter, decigram, deciliter, centimeter, centigram. Okay, centiliter, milligram, milliliter, milligram, milliliter, and millimeter. Okay, so now how we convert? Okay, if you want to convert kilometer to hectometer, what you have to do, you have to multiply it by 10, right? You have to multiply it by 10. And if you want to convert hectare to kilo, then what you have to do, you have to divide by 10. See, which is greater, this quantity is greater than this quantity. So if you want to go to larger one, then you have to use the path of division. Okay, and if you want to go to mm, smaller one, then you have to use the path of multiplication. Okay, are you getting my point? So this is the basic concept behind this topic. Okay, now next is declares. Okay, similarly, if you want to go this to this side, you have to multiply it by 10, and you want to go this side to this side, right? You have to divide by 10. Now same thing follow for 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and so on. Are you getting my point? So if I'm asking that if you want to convert meter to centimeter, then what you have to do, you have to divide it by, not multiply by 100, right? Because 10 for deci and 10 for centi. And if you want to convert millimeter to meter, then you have to divide by 1000. And if you want to convert meter to millimeter, then you have to multiply it by 1000. So this table is very important. Okay, very important. So if you want to make notes, then you can draw this table in your notes. Okay, so this is all about what, unit of measurements. Okay, so if I'm asking for ki 1 kilometer is how many centimeters are there, so 1 kilo to hectare 10, then 10, then 10, and then 10, and then 10. So 10 into 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, or 1 lakh. Okay, so for converting 1000 kilo to centimeter, you have to multiply it by 50, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it will be like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it will be how much? 10, 1 lakh. Okay, are you getting my point? So you can do these conversations, right? Very important. Okay, now perimeter of square and rectangle and their properties. See, the perimeter of a square is the total length of the four equal sides of the square, and the perimeter of a rectangle is the total length of the two lengths and two width of a rectangle. See, if there is a square, see, perimeter of any closed figure is what? The boundary. The boundary, the length of that boundary of that closed figure. See, first of all, we talk about perimeter for mainly only for what? Closed figure. So if there is any closed figure we have, so what is the perimeter? The boundary, the length of this boundary is known as perimeter of that particular figure. Okay. So if we have a square, right? So if we have a square, so all, as we know that the property of square is what? All the sides are equal. So it will be a, it will be a, it will be a, and it will be a, right? So we can say that perimeter of square, okay, perimeter of square is what? 4 into side. Are you getting my point? So perimeter of a square is what? 4 into side, right? Okay, so we can do this question like that. Okay. Now, if I'm asking for rectangle, see, for rectangle, if there is a rectangle, see, we know that what we know that we know कि opposite sides of a rectangle is equal, right? So if this is L and this is also L, this is B and this is also B, so we can say that perimeter of that rectangle is what? L plus B plus L plus B. So it will be 2L plus 2B. So 2 we can take 2L plus B, right? So what we can say that? We can say that the perimeter of rectangle is what? 2 into L plus B. Okay, now listen. Next important point. We can write down a note. For perimeter of square, if length of diagonal is given, now my point is what? If the length of diagonal is given, you know what is diagonal? If I join these 2 points, this is diagonal. So what I told you, if question is asking for the perimeter of a square and the diagonal length is given, they don't give you the value of what? Side. They gives you the length of diagonal. Okay. So for this, if this is a square, okay, if this is a square, we can take this side as a, this side as a. Now see, the length of that diagonal is given. Okay, let me select the pen. Yes, the length of the diagonal is given. So for example, if the length of the diagonal is B is given, okay, but we know that for the perimeter of a square, what we need side, because in this case, in this particular case, it will be 4a, right? Because the side we take as a. So in this question, in this part, we don't have the value of a. So we can find the value of a in terms of b. We have the value of b, right? But we don't have the value of a. So how we can do that? See, in this triangle, if I'm talking about this triangle, in this triangle, this angle is 90 degree. So we can use the concept of what? Pythagoras theorem. So by Pythagoras theorem, we can see that this square plus base square, perpendicular square plus base square is equals to hypotenuse square. So it will be a square plus a square is equals to what? B square, right? So 2a square is equals to b square, and this quantity gives what? A square. What we want to do, we want to find the value of a in terms of b, isn't it? So b square upon root b square upon a will be what? Let me erase this. Yes, yes. Now what is a square? A square is what? B square upon 2. So if you take under the root of both the sides, and what you get? A will be b upon root 2. A will be b upon root 2. So therefore perimeter of square, therefore perimeter is what? 4 into a, 4 into side, which is 4 into b by root 2. Are you getting my point? Unit. Okay. So this is the formula for perimeter of a square when diagonal is given. Okay, side is not given, diagonal is given. Okay, so we can do like that. Okay, now area between the rectangle, see this is what perimeter of the square, and if I'm talking about the area of the rectangle, so what is the formula for area of a square? Area of a square, I'm asking area of a square. See, if there is a square a, so area of a square is what? Side square, isn't it? So it will be what? A square. This is first thing. And second thing is what? Area of rectangle. So what is the area of rectangle? See, if there is a rectangle, this is L and this is B. So area of rectangle is what? L into B. This is the formula for area of rectangle. Are you getting my point? Okay, now question is about what? Question is about what? Question is about area between the rectangles. If question rectangle is lies inside a rectangle, then what we have to do? For example, if there is a question, there is a rectangle ABCD. Okay, this length is 10 centimeter and this is what? 70 centimeter. Okay. Okay, now this is, there is another perimeter, there is another rectangle which is PQRS. Okay. Okay, now see, this you can take as a 7 centimeter and this you can take as 5 centimeter. Okay, so if I'm asking for the area of this one, this part, so it is what? Area between the rectangles. So what we have to do, area between the rectangles is what? Area of larger rectangle minus area of a smaller rectangle. Okay, so for this shaded part area, what we have to do, area of shaded region is what? Area of rectangle ABCD minus area of rectangle PQRS, right? We have to perform this. Now, as we know that area of rectangle is what? Length into breadth, right? So for ABCD, it will be 10 into 7, isn't it? And for this PQRS, it will be 7 minus 9, not equals to minus, right? It is minus 7 into 5. So this will be what? 70 minus 35. So it will be 35 centimeter square. Don't forget to put unit. If you don't put unit properly, then they will definitely cut your marks. Okay, are you getting my point? Okay, so this is all about area between the rectangles. Okay, now we are going to do some questions related to this topic, then we are going to move to next topic. Okay, okay, now write down a question. Okay, question is, a door frame of dimension, a door frame of dimension 3 meter by 2 meter is fixed on the wall of dimension 10 meter by 10 meter. Okay, now find the total labor charge. Find the total labor charge for painting the wall. For painting the wall, if the labor charge, if the labor charges for painting 1 meter square of the wall is rupees 2.50. Okay, now see, first of all, what we are going to do, we are going to, yes, we are going to draw the diagram. Okay, Now see, according to question, a door frame of dimension this is fixed on a wall of dimension this. So see, there is a wall. First of all, there is a wall. The dimension for wall is a what? 10 meter by 10 meter, right? The dimension for the wall is what? 10 meter by 10 meter. Now there is a door. In on the wall, there is a door 3 by 2 meter. Okay. So we can take this as a door. This is 2 meter and this is 3 meter. Okay. So question is asking for what is the cost of labor for painting that wall. Okay, now first of all tell me the cost is according to 1 meter square. Meter square is the rate for area, right? The area they paint, right? So at this part they are going to paint only at this part they are going to paint, right? Isn't it? So first of all what we have to do, we have to find out the area at which they painted, right? So we can say that yes, area area of painted part. So we can say that, see, this ABCD, this point is ABCD, and you can take this point as PQ, this is R, and this is L. So we can say that the area of painted part is what? Area of rectangle area of square ABCD minus area of rectangle PQRS. We can say that, right? Area of square ABCD minus area of rectangle PQRS, right? Now, as we know that area of square is what? Side square, and side is what? 10 meter, right? So it becomes what? 10 square minus, and this is what? Length into breadth, which is 3 into 2. So area at which they paint, right? It will be what? 100 minus 6. So it will be 94 meter square. Now the cost is given 2.5 rupees for 1 meter square. So cost total cost is what? The total area they painted into cost for 1 meter square. So it will be what? 2.50 multiplied by 94, isn't it? So if you multiply 94 by 2.50, then what you will get? Rupees 235. Okay, so this is the final answer you will got. Okay, are you getting my point? So this is very easy question. Okay, so we can do these types of questions. Okay, now next question we are going to do. Yes, question is, a wire is in the shape of a square. A wire is in the shape of a square of side 10 centimeter. If the wire is rebent into a rectangle, the wire is rebent into a rectangle of length 12 centimeter, then find its breadth. Okay, now tell me which enclosed more area. Okay, now see, there is a wire is in the shape of a square of 10 centimeter. So there is a wire in the shape of a square. Okay, ABCD is a wire and in the shape of a square which length is 10 centimeter. Okay, 10 centimeter. Now what I do, I just break the wire from D point and straight it, and मैंने उसके बाद क्या किया, उसका एक rectangle बनाया. ठीक है, So इसके बाद है ना, after this figure what I do, I just make a rectangle like this. I just make a rectangle like this, PQRS. So first of all, question is asking now the length of that rectangle is given, which is 12 centimeter. It is asking for breadth, so we can take it as B. Now see, the length of wire is constant for both the figures, right? So we can say that, we can say what? We can say that the perimeter for both the figures is same, isn't it? We can say that, right? Because the perimeter, the length of wire is what? Perimeter. So the length of wire is same for both the figures, so we can say that the perimeter for both the figures is same. Are you getting my point? So we can say that perimeter of rectangle is equals to what? Perimeter of square. Are you getting my point? So perimeter of rectangle is what? 2 multiplied by 12 plus B, and this is what? 4 into 10. So from this equation we can get 12 plus B is equals to 40 upon 20, which is 40 upon 2, right? 40 upon 2, not 20. It is not 20. Okay, it will be what? 2. Are you getting my point? So how much you got? Let's see. 12 plus B is equals to 20. The value of B you will got is what? 8 centimeter. Okay, so the breadth for that rectangle of the question is asking to find its breadth. So the value for breadth is what? 8 centimeter. Now after that, it is also asking for which enclose more area. So first we are going to find area of square, which is what? 10 square, which is 100 centimeter square. Okay, now area of rectangle, which is length into breadth. Length is what? 12 eighths, which is 96 centimeter square. So if you see, the area for a square is greater than the area for rectangle. Are you getting my point? So this is the question we have. Okay, is there any doubt in this part? Okay, so we can do these types of question very easily, right? Okay, so yes, so now move to our main topic, then we are going to do some questions. Okay, now see, there are some types of quadrilaterals. We have some types of quadrilaterals. Now we are going to learn about the formulas for areas. Okay, now for rectangle, first one is for rectangle. We know that the area is what? If this side is B and this side is H, and if you don't want to take it as H, you can take it as L. So the formula becomes like A is equals to BL. Are you getting my point? This is the area for rectangle. Now the next figure is what? Square. So as I told you, area of square is what? Side square, isn't it? Are you getting my point? Okay, so this is area of square. Now triangle area is what? 1 upon 2 into base is B. This is base, right? This is base, and this part is height. So 1 upon 2 into B into H is what? 1 upon 2 into base into height. This is the basic formula of area of triangle. Now this is third one, this is fourth one. Fourth one is what? Parallelogram. So for parallelogram, area is what? 1 upon 2 into base into height. Not pay 1 upon 2, only base into height is the formula. Okay, so this is height and this is base. Trapezoid is also known as trapezium. It is also known as trapezium. Okay, so it is what? 1 upon 2 into sum of these sides are parallel sides, so it will be sum of parallel side into height. So if you see, area of trapezium is what? 1 upon 2 into sum of parallel side into height. Are you getting my point? Okay, so these are the formulas of areas of some quadrilaterals and triangles. Now the topic is area triangle as a part of a quadrilateral. Okay, so for example, if we have a rectangle, and if there is a diagonal, okay, and if this is 5 and this is 8. Now if centimeter, and if I'm asking for the area of this triangle, so we can say that we know that the triangle divide the rectangle, diagonal divide the rectangle into two equal part of area. So the area of this part and this part is equal. Okay, so what we can say that key area of each triangle, area of each triangle is what? 1 upon 2 area of rectangle, isn't it? So it will be 1 upon 2 into base is what? 5 into 8. So 5 fours are 20 centimeter square. So in this part, we don't have the rectangle, we don't have the triangle area, we don't have the dimensions for triangle, but we know that there are two triangles of same area. Okay, so for this figure, if I take another figure like this, okay, okay, can we do here? Yes, we can do here. Now see, if there is a square, okay, and if I join these diagonals, so there are two triangles, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now area for all the four triangle is what? Same. So if the dimension for this square is 10 centimeters, so we can say that area of triangle is what? 1 upon 4 area of a square. So it will be 1 upon 4 into 100. So which is 25 centimeters square. Are you getting my point? So this is all about triangle as a part of quadrilateral. Okay. So we can do these types of questions in life, right? Okay. Now next question we have is what? See. Yes. Next question what we have, let's see. Yes, the area of a square whose perimeter is given. Now there is a square in this part, in this question the perimeter of that square is given. As we know that perimeter of square is what? 4 into side. So according to question, this perimeter is given as 4 meter, right? So it will be 4 is equals to 4 into side. So with the help of this equation, what we get? We got side is equals to 1 meter, isn't it? Yes or no? Are you getting my point? And if we got side, see, for finding the area of any figure, either it is quadrilateral or it is a square or rectangle, anything. What we need? We need a square. For a square, we need side. So we got side as 1 meter. So area of a square is what? Side square. So it will be 1 meter square. So it will be 1 meter square. So the answer for this particular question is what? P. If you see, answer is P, isn't it? Okay, we can do more questions. Okay. Yes. Find the breadth of a rectangle plot of land if its area is 440 meter square and length is given. Very simple question again. Solution. Now see, if there is a rectangle whose length is given, length is equals to what? 22 meter. Question is asking for breadth. B. You can take as B. And we know that area of rectangle is what? Length into breadth. Okay, so length is 22 and area is also given 440. So we can say that 440 is equals to 22 into B. So the value of B is what? 440 upon 22. So it will be cancelled out by 20 times. So it will be 20 and meter. The answer is option A. The breadth, BREADTH, is what? 20 meter. Are you getting my point? So we can say like that. Okay. Now we can do more questions. Okay. Now write down a question. Okay. Write down a question. Yes. Yes. Write down. The area of a square the area of a square and a rectangle, the area of a square and a rectangle are equal. Okay, if the sides of the square is 40 centimeter and the breadth of the rectangle is a 25 centimeter. Okay, then find the length of the rectangle, then find the length of the rectangle, comma, also find perimeter of rectangle. Okay, also find perimeter of rectangle. Okay, okay, now listen carefully. Now see, there is a square. Listen, what we have a square whose side of the square is 40 centimeter. So side of that square is 40 centimeter. Okay, okay, now this is a square. Okay, now there is another rectangle also, there is a rectangle also, and the breadth is 25 centimeter. And question is asking for, first of all, question is asking for length, so we can take length as L. Now in this question it is given that area of square and a rectangle are equal, so we can say that according to question, area of square is equals to what? Area of rectangle. Okay, so if area of square is equals to area of rectangle, so what we can say that 25 into, basically not 25 into L, area of square is what? Let me erase this. Okay, now see, area of square is what? 40 into 40, because it is 40 square, and area of rectangle is what? Length into breadth. So length is L and breadth is 25, right? So if you solve this, right, so what you will get? Yes, what we will get in previous slide, we got 40 square is equals to L into 25. So what we get? 40 square is equals to L multiplied by 25, right? So 40 square is what? 1600 is equals to L into 25. So the value of L is what? 20, not 25. The value of L is what? 1600 upon 25. So if you see, it will be 16. It can be written as 16 into 100 upon 25. Now you will cancel out this 25 by 4 times. How much you got? 16 4 za 64. It is in centimeter, right? Let me check. Yes, it is in centimeter. So we can say that, what we can say that length of rectangle is 64 centimeter. Are you getting my point? So we can do these types of questions very easily. Okay, so we can do one more question. Okay, write down. Question is the perimeter of a rectangular sheet is 100 centimeter. Okay, if the length is 35 centimeter, okay, find its breadth, and also find the area. Okay, so see what is given in the question. There is a rectangular sheet. Okay, there is a rectangular sheet. Let me change the color. Yes, there is a rectangular sheet. The perimeter. Yes, so the perimeter is what? Perimeter of this particular rectangular sheet is given in the question, which is 100 centimeter, isn't it? And breadth and length is given, right? I think length is given as 35 centimeter. Let me cross check. Yes, length is 35 and yes, perimeter is 100. So we know that the formula, we can take breadth be x centimeter. So we can take breadth as x. So it will be 35 centimeter and we take this as x centimeter. Okay, fine. So we know that the perimeter of rectangle is what? 2 into L plus B, isn't it? So we know that this quantity, which quantity? This quantity is given as what? 100 centimeters. So it will be 100 is equals to 2 into the value of L is what? 35. And what we take B as x. So if I solve this equation by using the concept of algebra, so 2 into 35, which is 70, plus 2 into x, which is 2x. Now we have to take this to this side. So it will give 2x is equals to 100 minus 70. So 2x is equals to 30. The value of x is what? 15 centimeter. So we can say that what? Breadth is what? 15 centimeter. Now question is asking for what? Area also. So we know that the area is what? 35 into 15, isn't it? So you can solve it. 35 into 15, you can solve this, right? 25, 17, 5 and 3. So it will be 2, 12, right? 5 to 5, right? So the answer will be 5 to 5 centimeter square. Are you getting my point? So this is your final answer. Okay. So what we learn about this chapter in today's lecture? See, we learn how so many things, right? Like we learn about unit of measurements, which is very important, perimeter of a square and rectangle and their properties. Okay, area between the rectangles, triangle is a part of quadrilateral, and there are some formulas for different figures. Okay, then we do so many questions. Okay, so this is fine for today's lecture. Thank you so much and stay safe and enjoy. Thank you. Bye.